going, guys? It's Mick here, and got a special treat for you. Not going to reveal it just yet. Gonna wait till I get down there. But it's time for another review. So without further ado, when I get down there, I'll let you know what it is. All right, guys. As promised, I'm down here about to do this review, and I'm so excited to let you know what it is. And there it is, over in the corner. Can I point to it? That's what I'm reviewing today. No, I'm only kidding. Today, I am reviewing Derek's 2016 Dodge Viper ACR. There she is. '91 was the first year that the Dodge was released publicly, and the way they did it was pretty cool. The Indianapolis 500 in '91, and no other than the legendary Carroll Shelby was actually driving it. So they had the Dodge Viper as a pace car in '91 at the Indianapolis 500. That's pretty cool. So here's a picture of the '91 pace car for the Indianapolis 500, and it was actually the prototype, the first public release, and that was the one that Carroll Shelby drove. The second slide is the '92 Viper. These cars were created to be crashed, basically. They were the ones to figure out what was safe and what wasn't. The third car is the '93, and the '93 was made by hand. So the '93 models are very sought after. And the last picture is the '94 model, and this was the very first car that was actually built on an assembly line. So, I mean, look at it. Even '94 is still a great looking car. You can see the ACR comes with the carbon ceramic brake rotors. Derek says that a set of pads will last a good track day, which is pretty crazy, but the thing brakes like no other car I've ever been in. These rotors are about 15.4 inches in diameter, and the rears are about 14.2 or something like that. And you have a look here, you got your conards on the front. That creates downforce. So obviously the more downforce, the more the front tires will grip on the car when you're going into your turns. The wing in the back. Obviously the wing is part of the downforce package as well. So I'm pretty sure a wing doesn't even work unless it's over 100 miles an hour. So you can see Derek's behind me in the Viper. We're just going to go to another location. Now, they released 5 different trim packages on the Viper in 2016. You had the SRT, the GT, the GTC, the GTS, and the ACR. And obviously the ACR is what Derek's got. The ACR came stock with about 645 horsepower. Derek paid, I think it was about 14,000 extra to get the upgraded engine, which was better heads, bigger cam, and intake, and that produced about 760. Now we're talking crank horsepower, okay? So 645 stock, 760 is what Derek's car is. When he had it dyno tuned, it produced about just shy of 700. I think he said it was like 689, something like that. So that's where it's at, yeah. So the ACR is top of the line. MSRP was $117,000. I think Derek said when all said and done, taxes and everything, paid about $150,000 for it. So yeah, pretty penny, but great car. Limited editions. They only produced 290 of them. In the scheme of things, I mean, this country's got over 300 million people, so 290 cars is not a lot. So that's definitely something's going to be worth something down in the in the future. In '94, Chrysler decided to put a program together called Viper. It was a TV production, sort of like a action drama adventure type show that featured a Dodge Viper. And this was a massive promotion stunt, and it did Viper wonders. It's actually how I've learned about Dodge Viper. So that was back in '94, and the show ran for 4 years, which is pretty unbelievable considering it was just a promotional stunt. But it's what put me onto Viper, and I've always been a Viper fan since I used to watch that show. And one of my dreams was got to come to America and drive a Viper. So I actually made that happen. In 2007, when I was in Vegas, I rented a GDS Viper for 24 hours. Took it up Hoover Dam all over the Vegas Strip. It was bloody amazing. And back then they had an 8-litre V10 in it. And then later on they started producing an 8.3 litre. And then today, and what Derek's got in his car is an 8.4 litre. So yeah, pretty cool. Oh, and they're naturally aspirated too. So his 760 crank horsepower is natural, so not forced induction, no turbo, no supercharger, no nitrous, nothing like that. So yeah, pretty cool. So here's some actual pictures of the Viper I rented in Vegas. It was actually an RT10 Roadster, not a GDS, so apologize for that. Hoover Dam, awesome. They were filming Transformers up there, Michael Bay, and then Sean Penn was filming Into the Wild when I was up there as well. I shot this picture above Lake Mead, beautiful spot. And this next picture, this is Montalvo Village, 10 miles off the strip. This is actually where I stayed. There's the 8-litre V10, and then I've got a picture of with the hood up. I don't know what it is about these cars when the hood's up, they just look so aggressive. And lastly but not least, here is a little clip. Now this is filmed with my Fuji FinePix 6 megapixel camera. So it's pretty bad quality, but you get the gist of it. So I'm doing a little power slide right now. It was fun, loved it. Driving around in this, down in the strip, amazing, great time. All right, guys. So I'm sitting in Derek's Viper right now, and just going to go over some of the accessories real quick, and we'll go for a bit of a wrap. So we're inside the Viper, obviously. We've got basic controls like traction control, your launch control, and that's your cruise. Now this did have sound system in it, but Derek took the speakers out when he redid the overlays, which are right there. So yeah, no radio. Who needs a radio when you got power? That's what I reckon. All right, interesting fact about these cars: the curb weight on these cars is 3,374 to 90 pounds, between that. And the crazy thing is, my 350Z, that's about the same weight. So it's an optic illusion. The Viper looks so much bigger, but in actuality it's about the same weight. So power to weight ratio is pretty mad, man. One thing I forgot to tell you guys, there was a
there was a race series in Australia called the Nations Cup, and they got an early model Monaro. I think it was a 2002, 2003, something like that. And they put a 8-liter Dodge Viper engine in it, and it destroyed the field. Like, it was winning by laps. So hold Monaro with a Dodge Viper engine, nothing better, I reckon. Anyway, I'm about to fire her up and go for a spin.
Got it. We are rolling.
Listen to that thing. I haven't driven a manual forever, eh? Does it have AC?
Yes.
That's a bonus. This is the first time I've had someone help me film a review. The Dodge Viper, or the ACR Viper, since 2015 has set 13 track records in the United States, which is that's a pretty tall order. So I think these cars are definitely a race bred, that's for sure. And Derek was telling me that the tyres were actually formulated for these vehicles, and the downside of that is they're very soft compound, so they wear out very quickly. He said you'll get about 2 track days out of a set of fronts. He said that top speed's limited to about 180 miles an hour due to the downforce, because these cars have an extreme downforce package on them. So pretty incredible what downforce does. I mean, as you know, if you get an F1 car up to speed, you can flip it upside down and drive it upside down in a tunnel. So downforce is everything when it comes to racing. That roar is just incredible, isn't it? Just going through you.
You notice the way the car kind of tightens up?
It's amazing. It's like letting a wild dog off a leash, mate. You just wants to keep going. Doesn't want to stop. And I tell you, you've got to have that discipline to just like back off. Because I don't know what it is, but that speed is just so addictive. As soon as you start getting into it, you don't want to give up. It's bloody amazing. So you would have seen when we did the engine bay shot in the cinematic sequence, the pink engine brace, or the strut brace rather. Derek did that as a tribute to his mum, who was a victim of breast cancer. So just a little touch, you know, to let his mum know that he's always thinking about her no matter where he is. What's that? Are you kidding me, mate? That's the shifter. Yeah, that stick thing. Well, what does it do, mate? Seriously? That's how you shift gears, mate. Well, what's a gear? You're ridiculous, man. I think you need to get out of this car and go and learn some stuff about some cars. Then you won't be asking ridiculous questions like, what's that? Get out. Fine, I'm gonna go then. I guess I'll learn about cars since that's your advice.
Well, guys, back home after having the pleasure to drive Derek's 2016 Dodge Viper ACR. I've always wanted to drive one of them. It was amazing. It's as I said in the video, you can tell it's race inspired. It just, the way it drives is amazing. Just, car is spectacular. And to think there's only 290 of the 2016 model. Well, anyway, I had a blast. Car was amazing. Hope you enjoyed the review. If there's anything you want me to review, or maybe you guys want me to review something you got, let me know and I'll do it for you. That's if I can get to you, obviously. But like and subscribe as usual. Hit the little bell so you get the alerts. And you know, love you guys. Be real, be yourselves. And this review is over.